Hello everyone, my name is Srinivas Bharadwaj. I'm an educational consultant for American universities and I'm doing this video to help you choose your university wisely in the US and I've made some points regarding the same. Now, what happens generally is that many students that I've come across in my career uh, go to a particular university, they have a certain university in mind, and let's call that university as University X. Now, what happens if you go to this University X? I won't take names of the university because I'll tell you why later on. Let's call it X for now. Now, what happens when you go to these universities? First thing, the reason why you apply to these universities is because there's no application fee and the tuition is very cheap and there's no requirement for a GRE score, or even if there's an IELTS score requirement, it's going to be very less, somewhere around 5.5 to 6, or probably 100 in Duolingo or 80 in TOEFL. So this is one reason why most students choose that university, because it's easy, and then you get your I-20 in less than 10 days, or maybe a super max 2 weeks. You get your I-20, and that's it. You apply for it because it's cheap, you get it quickly and everything, and then you end up paying somewhere around 15 16 lakhs or less than 20 lakhs for your entire masters, maybe less than 20 lakhs even. Now, what happens if you go to such a school? Let us say this University X, what happens? First thing is, you will not learn anything by going there, because you'll only be getting a foothold into America, nothing more than that, literally nothing more than that. You just get a foothold, and then your classes would be the more, the mode of education. They'll say it's going to be 3 classes on campus, or maybe hybrid, or completely online. So there's hardly any scope for learning. You won't be doing assignments or participating in quizzes. Maybe you would be, but it wouldn't make much of a difference, because there's no scope, any scope for landing an internship, because these colleges, they hardly care. I mean, they only care about your money. So they don't really have the infrastructure or the resources to help you land an intern. So you won't be able to get anything out of it. And what happens when you graduate from this university? Now, once you are in this university, you won't be doing any classes. Okay, I mean, whatever assignments they give you, you can actually get your assignment done from some smart guy will charge you about $20, and will do the assignment for you, and then you can just submit that assignment and then get along. You'll the whole day or for the entire week, except for 2 or 3 hours for your class, if it is online or offline, depending on that. The rest of the time you'll be working in a 7-Eleven store or some other convenience store, or doing some food delivery job. This is what you'll be doing. Nothing more than that. And forget about learning. There's no scope. Right? What happens next? Once you graduate from these universities, what happens? These universities, they don't have a brand name as such, because they're cheap, and maybe these universities would have been founded maybe 10 years back, 15 years back, or 20 years back, not more than that, or maybe less than that too, 5, 10 years. That could be the history of that university. So there's no brand name as such to this university. So you won't get it. People will not recognize this university. So when you go into the job market, once you graduate from this university and enter the job market, they'll know that you've graduated from some Tom, Dick, and Harry university, which has no reputation as such. And then you won't find a job. And in order to find a job, you go to a consultant, a job consultant. What happens there? Let me tell you that also. So once you go to a job consultant, what happens is that you'll actually be mortgaging your entire future with these people, because they'll give you a free ticket to wherever they live, maybe Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, God knows where, and they'll give you a ticket. You can pack all your bags and come down to Atlanta, and then you'll be living in their villa. They take, these people, they take big villas and then they accommodate all these students there. So with the promise of they finding a job, but they will definitely find you a job. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's no doubt in that. Now what happens is they'll teach you some tool, some random tool that is in demand in the market. So I don't want to take names again. So these tools would probably be in demand, and there might be, people recruiting. Companies, Pan Am, they'll be doing recruitments for these tools, and they'll train you for 1 or 2 months. And if you're smart, maybe you'll learn the tool, or if not, they'll arrange for some proxy interview. You just sit in front of a laptop, like just like I am sitting, and then somebody else will give the answer, and then you just do your little bit, and somehow hook and crook, you'll land a job. Done. What next? What happens next? Most cases that I have seen in my career in the US, what happens is that these people get fired in less than 2 weeks, maybe a few months. They get caught red-handed, and once you're caught red-handed, they'll mercilessly neck you out of the company. So why would all of this happen? I mean, in the sense that you go to a job consultant, you hardly learn anything, you don't learn what your university teaches you. It's because you go to this cheap university, because there's no scope for any learning there. Now let me tell you another university. It's called Rutgers. It's in New Jersey. Now, what happens if you go to a university like Rutgers? What are your career prospects if you go to a university like Rutgers? First thing, the coursework is going to be extremely tough. Okay, it's not going to be easy. So you can't just, like you've gone to this, like this X university, you can't just, walk into the campus and then, everything is going to be perfectly normal. No, it's going to be very tough. And for you to get an entry into these universities, it's going to be very tough. You'll have to prepare for your GRE for at least 6 months, 8 months, or maybe more than that. The average GRE requirement would be around 320, nothing less than that. What happens with the tough coursework and the assignments, the number of assignments that they give you every week, and you have to turn in your assignments on time, because or else they'll fail you. And once you fail a class in the US, there's no such thing as a supplementary exam. You've got to do the entire semester again. So it's very expensive. So naturally, in these universities, you don't want to be doing that. That's one thing. And with this tough coursework, these assignments, weekly quizzes, your research papers, PowerPoint presentations, it's quite natural that you will learn the subject, whatever course that you're opt for. Maybe computer science, business analytics, mechanical engineering, civil engineering. You will learn the subject because you are bound to learn the subjects, and they'll make you learn the subjects. And once you graduate from this university, what are your career prospects? Because the entire of America, Pan America, people will know that you've graduated from a tier one university, or probably even a tier two university is just as good. They have very good reputation. So a tier one university or tier two university, they have that reputation. They have that brand value that will land you a job. So you can actually bypass just going to a consultant, going through a proxy interview, outsourcing your work to India because you're not able to do it. You don't have to do all of that here. You pick the right university for your masters, and you'll have a promising career. But if you pick these cheap universities, I doubt you would have any career. And I've seen this practically. I'm not saying this, something that I've read on the internet or maybe some word of mouth. No, I've been there. I've seen this whole scenario, and it's ridiculous. You will never be able to settle down because once they catch you, they'll fire you, and then you go to the same consultant again, etc., etc. All of this happens because you didn't learn anything in your masters. Nothing. You studied nothing. You were only working in a 7-Eleven store or some other Indian store or whatever. But here you cannot do that because you've got to study. If you don't study, they'll fail you, and if they fail you, it's going to cost a lot of money. You take an educational loan to complete your education. It's not easy here. And these universities have a brand value. That's more important. These Tom, Dick, and Harry universities, there's no such thing as a brand. Anybody can make it to this university. You don't have to be a genius to make it into this university. Anybody can make it. So my recommendation is that you go to a university like Rutgers, Stony Brook, or North Carolina, Charlotte, Chapel Hill, UT Austin, UT Texas, at Dallas. There are plenty of universities, and we'll help you get to that universities. We'll help you with your processing to these top tier schools. Forget about the rest. And when it comes to your GRE, we'll train you for the GRE. My dad, Mr. Krupa Shankar, has been training for the GRE for the last 24 years. We were previously based out in Nalagunta, but now we are here in Rampati. So you can contact us. I'll leave my number in the comment section, so you can contact me and send this to your friends or relatives, anybody who's aspiring to do their education in the US. And please uh, heed my advice and take it seriously. Don't go to this University XYZ. There's no point. You'll only get a football. And the other thing is, for you to get a visa for these universities, for this X university, is very less. It's less than 10%. Chances of getting a visa is less than 10% because the officer will definitely know that this is a godforsaken university. There's no point in going there. And the only reason why this person is applying to that university is because he wants to get into America. He just wants to land into it. And he'll be considered a potential immigrant. Nobody has to be a genius to know this fact. You'll be considered a potential immigrant and you'll be rejected straight away. No questions asked. In case if you're very lucky and the officer is in a good mood, maybe they'll give you a visa. And that's not, the chances of that happening is very less. So don't do that. Go to a university like Rutgers or Penn State, Stony Brook, North Carolina, Charlotte, Chapel Hill, Clemson. These universities are good. So I hope I've been able to put across my point very clearly, and we will help you with what we can do, getting you into the right university. We'll help you with your university shortlisting, with your coaching and end-to-end processing. From A to Z, we take care of everything. Coaching and consulting. We'll land you an I-20. We'll help you with an educational loan. We'll do everything that we can. Alright. So thank you, and I hope to, and I look forward to receiving your application in the near future. Thank you.